इतना prepared और जोश में I wasn't expecting speakers to be this prepared, this excited. हम normally सोचते हैं technology और technical लोगों में क्या boring लोग होते होंगे. इतना excitement कहाँ expect करते हैं?
So, are you looking to reduce your plant's breakdown up to 37%?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's here and interested. कैसे मेरी life, problem free हो जाए, right? And this is where we are going to discuss today. What are the 7, leading technologies which every oil and gas instrumentation professional, or maybe pharma instrumentation professional, or any process industry professional should know, right? Please move on. Please move. Okay, thank you. So, who it is for? It is for all the industry guys who are managing or having a pneumatic systems or managing various automation. If you are doing this, you are the right guys here, and this is the presentation for you. And what is needed in the audience? We need people here who are technology pro, who are ready to adopt the new technologies for upgrading their plant safety and reliability to the next level, right? Or if you are a business owner who's looking for, ways or means to zoom up their plant's profitability and enhance safety with a precise ROI calculations, then you are right for this. At the end of the 30 minutes, this is my promise, you'll get to know how you can cut down up to 80% of your pneumatic breakdowns, how you diagnose errors remotely, even without moving out of your desk. How many of you want to do that? Office में बैठ के ही पता चल जाए क्या गड़बड़ है. Yes. Have a predictive maintenance. Even before the failure occurs, you know what to do, and not let the failure occur itself. And even if you want to carry out the maintenance, you want the maintenance to be done without breakdown, right? Online. And how we can improve Scotch or rack and pinion actuators life by over 50%. So how many of you are finding this interesting? Right? बहुत कम हाथ उठते हैं, तुमको पता नहीं है. Okay, great. So this is my introduction. To start with, I am the director of Rotus Automation Limited, a bit mechanical from NIT Warangal, gold medalist. Then my MBA from SP Jain, and I represent the company which is just in 2023 was released as top 10 valve manufacturing company for oil and gas in Outlook, Industry Outlook. Just last year, we also won CII Design Excellence Award for our designing capabilities. We also won the most iconic organization by World Manufacturing Congress just this year. Also, we were displayed as a pride of Gujarat, being a Gujarat company. We were recognized by CII as a pride of Gujarat, and the best global business award we received in 2014 by Mr. Jashwant Sinha himself. With 18 plus utility patents, I am the solenoid valve expert, and when it comes any problem with solenoid valve, I am there to solve it. So I have assisted over 7,000 clients and proud to say, help them save over 2,000 crores. So these are some of the pictures of our awards, right? You can see Jashwant Sinha here, and we've been displayed on ET Now, being the best global business. And this is about Rotex, just a single slide, talks all. We are the largest manufacturer of solenoid valves in India, with 9 million solenoid valves supplied till date to over 7,000 customers, 56 years of experience, over 71,000 catalog items as a solenoid valve solutions, 6,100 customized solutions, 18 plus utility patents, 13 plus international product certifications. We have supplied to over 81 countries across the globe, and we have 83 global supply chain partners to support our customers globally. These are some of the certifications. You name it, we have it. We have, as of now, our 4 global locations where we can address and serve our customers, and of course, almost 83 channel partners across the globe spread across. Some of the well-known oil and gas customers in India and internationally, and even the engineering houses, just to start with. This is one of the places where we carry out the assessment, and I got a very nice testimony from Mr. Mehul Sheth. He says that guided by Mr. Niraj Shah's expertise, we innovated beyond the standard globe valve with the positioner. Our shift to the angle seat valve with the positioner has delivered superior flow performance, decreased the air consumption, and yielded notable cost benefits. We did something innovative, right? A typical globe valve will always have a flow like this, and will always have a lesser flow factor, while a Rotex angle seat valve has almost equal to a ball valve flow, just 7% less compared to ball valve. So now you got a globe valve performance in terms of control and flow that of a ball valve. How does that sound?
Good.
Yeah. So this is our journey. In 1967 we started, and we had a collaboration with Swiss company called Insights for solenoid valves. In 1974, 1976 we had a solenoid valve manufacturing, and then we had in 1980 at Datta Sawan, which was closed down our plant, but we didn't close down. We continue on. In 1983 we shifted our manufacturing to Baroda. Then we opened one more plant at Allahabad, and then on the journey of growth from 2000 onwards has been zooming. Right? We have been getting all certifications after certifications, and today I can proudly say almost 45% of our revenue comes from exports. So let's go to the topic. What are the 7 technologies? Now, is this the major problems when you're dealing with pneumatics?
Yes.
Right? Leakages, breaking of pneumatic lines, solenoid valve failures for various reasons, failures of grid switches and electrical wires and PLCs, whatnot. And then that is leading to the solenoid valve failure or solenoid valve not working because of wrong signals or no signals, and then your pneumatic system not working. Failure of pneumatic actuators, internal corrosions, various components with air contaminations, right? And you have a moisture in the air, and moisture playing its role, all this, right? So let's start with our first technology. Is this something familiar?
Yeah.
Do we see this sort of a skids mounted over our most probably critical shutdown valves, valves in redundancy, valves and whatnot? So today's presentation, which I'm going to say, is not about Rotex. Okay, I may show some pictures of Rotex because that is what I have in my bucket, widely available. But wherever it is possible, I will try to show also the competition pictures, because we are talking about a generic technology which is present but not in use, right? And because of this, the industry is lacking big way. So this is a typical thing. Takes so much of space, so much of piping, so many fittings, right? And if you want to make a change in this, nightmare, right? You may have to send it to skid manufacturer or whatnot, right? So these are the typical problems. If you have to service, it will take 30 to 44 minutes, right? If you want to add something, you have to add a T-fittings and a piping, and then it will take hours of repair time, right? And if there is any breakdown, it can cost you 1 lakh to 50 lakhs, because this is critical shutdown valves. And now if you want to repair, fitting kholo, right? Pipe nikalo, remove the valve, put a new valve, put a piping, put a connection, all those things, and all that time you are having a shutdown, right? Unless you have some bypass system. So it can cost you quite high. So what are the solutions? Right? There are modular manifold designs which are nothing but a skid of the future, right? As you can see here, go later. Okay. There is a systems which can be built, which can have the regulator, it can have the solenoid valves, it can have the manual valves, it can have the isolation valves, everything on single manifold. Zero pipings, zero fittings. And if you have to service, just 4 bolts. You remove it and you can replace the valves. Takes the time of servicing from 1 hour to straight to 10 minutes or maybe less. Oh, great, thank you. Right? You can see the difference. You can have this sort of a Lego, right? The beauty is this is a universal manifold. You can change. You can put 202. You can put one single solenoid, and the next plate you can put the, let's say, pilot valve, or you can put 2 solenoid valves in series, 2 solenoid valves in parallel, 201, 102, whatever. Whatever you want to build, you can build the circuits. Same manifold, nothing to change, right? See the size. This big thing becomes this small. 600 by 700 tuck. And the beauty is, if you have to replace this solenoid, ye screw, ye fittings up. Now here just 4 bolts and you're out. Right? So fast, so smooth. This is the first technology, right? Which can save substantial. For a critical valve, having a shutdown is, you know how much does it cost and how much pressure is there. And when you are putting a system on a bypass, you're almost putting the whole system, on a safety bypass. If something goes wrong, and if you're on a bypass mode, sorry to say, you're wiped out, right? So, but this will make sure you have the maximum on time for your system. This is very clear. Have you heard this? Right? Preventive maintenance, predictive maintenance, सबको पता है क्या? तो मुझे पता चलेगा थोड़ा, right? तो हम सबको पता है ये करना है. We know there are so many advantages. You can have cost efficiency, right? I've just put some cost efficiency numbers, like you can have 10 lakh of loss for such predictive maintenance capable solenoid valves, right? For a ultra critical application, whenever there is some solenoid valve failure taking place, if you are avoiding it by predictive maintenance, that was saving it straight away into your bottom line, right? And it can be as high as 10 lakhs. Resource optimization. You don't keep on changing every 3 years a solenoid valve. भले अच्छा चल रहा है फिर भी चेंज कर डालो, फेल हो सकता है. अरे 10 लाख का it may have a 10 years life. Why to change it? Right? When you have a predictive maintenance, you can utilize the complete life. Right? You can extend equipment life, you can reduce the downtimes, you can have a better safety because now you are checking and making sure the performance is good, right? And you can have a better inventory management because okay, this is now going to die in a 6 months time, 5 months time, better I order. It's not that I just kept the order and pulled the whole big inventory for making sure, my supplies are there, but you get to better management. So what are the technologies in the solenoid valves? There are solenoid valves now you can have with the position feedback. Individual solenoid valve with a position feedback, which means it just does not check the pressure. Many times people say, "ये pressure switch लगा दिया तो भी पता चल जाएगा." Yes, you can get a pressure output, but that will not tell you a lot of insights which a position feedback device can give you. On the basis of response on and off time, you can know maybe my response time has increased. Something has gone wrong, maybe some contamination which is blocking it. Before it gets stuck, better let me give us attention to it, right? Or over a period you are seeing the response time is going down, means the seals are warning. Maybe it's the time to change the seals because after the time it will start leaking, right? You don't get a full stroke, there can be some contamination which is blocking. or you don't get a full pick, you know that can be a solenoid issue in terms of it losing power. So much of a diagnostic can be done by just checking the movement of the element of the solenoid. Right? Third technology. Everybody does this. They know if you are bringing a redundancy, you are solving one problem but creating another. Right? For a safety, you said, okay, I will put the two valves in series so that any signal goes forward. I still have another signal which will make sure the shutdown takes place, but then you will have unplanned shutdowns. That of a double the probabilities. As you can see here, the probability is 0.1, right? But this probability for safety shutdown, yes, 100x. For sporadic, 0.02, right? So when you have 202 in series and 102, you may have here possibility that a particular shutdown, particular valve will not shut when it needed, and it will continue, let the system continue, right? To resolve this, of course, we came up with the 203 configuration, right? And 203 configuration improved the safety by 33x and also the reliability by 25x. You can see here, because 0.1 has become now this. 0.1 has become this, right? So 33x and 25x, both safety and reliability have improved, right? But then there's still a scope, right? Further, what improvement took place? There was a possibility to carry out by bypass valve, individual isolation bypass valve. Now you are able to do an online maintenance, right? With the feedback devices, now you can do your predictive maintenance, and you can get a complete feedback. And you have a visual indicator, so when you go at the side, you are not in puzzle which solenoid valve to replace, the left one or right one, right? It gives the indication at the side. So these were the technologies which were present. And of course, the last time in the last session I talked about, there is a technology which is the most updated one, where 203 is achieved with the 3 solenoids instead of 4. And with that, your reliability is also shoot up to 33.3x. And safety is also improved to 33.3x. Right? So instead of 25x, now both are 33x, right? And of course, you have a lower capital cost. You have a lesser feedbacks, lesser lines to be put up, smaller space, and so on and so forth. So, right? So much of our advantages. You can have on-site serviceability. You can have a correlation table, truth tables, and of course, we said last time 3 to 5 lakhs per system as a whole company level, not on the not on that module, but if you consider the feedback, the I/O inputs, and the I/O outputs which needs to have in DCS, and the lines to be put up, and the cables, and all that cost, you put it together, you have a state of this much of a saving. Yeah, the fourth technology, moisture, right? We have moisture in the air. Compressed air is one part. Another part is moisture in the atmosphere also. And that moisture attacking the equipment through cables. Right? Through the cable inside, the moisture travels and reaches to the equipments and fails many of the equipments. And the best way to handle with this is have a bottom cable entry. So when you have a bottom cable entry, water will not able to rise up, it will remain down, right? And for that there are a lot of solutions, like you can have this sort of a thing, but then you can put sort of a fitting. You have been seeing people putting expensive fittings and then giving a bottom cable entry, and then we have some solenoids which can have a bottom entry inbuilt. So then we call it in a Japanese way, pokayoke, right? No way a wrong cable entry can, or wrong cable can be installed. It will always be a bottom cable entry. And when you have this, you will not have issues which are caused by moisture. Because you can imagine, this is all big cost. And whatever sites I have surveyed, almost 40% of the process industry have this issue. Whatever solenoid valve failure reports we get, 40 to 50% of the time, they are because of moisture. A solenoid is intact where the moisture is coming from the cable. And when you visit the site, invariably the cables are coming from the top, carrying the water inside, and you find when you open the dhakkan, you will get all water droplets. Right? So this is a very, very, very common issue. People are not getting aware that even moisture can travel through the cable glands. Right? And that's why even if you have to have a horizontal, have a loop, like a U loop. Take it down and then take it up and then enter. And if you want to make sure your technician never do any mistakes, use a coca solenoids like this. But here, the problem is the way the solenoids are mounted. Sometimes it is mounted horizontally, sometimes they are mounted, vertically, horizontally, downward, sideways. How are you going to control which way the cable entry should go? Because if you have got a horizontal one, and if the solenoid is, horizontal, it will become top entry only, right? Even if you have a bottom cable entry coil, right? But if you are going to have a solenoid which is not vertical but horizontally mounted, again it will become a side entry. So how to resolve this? The latest technology which has come up is a universal adaptable cable gland, a flexible cable gland for a solenoid. You move it at this side as per your installation. You can move it the way you want it, right? And that's how you can make sure always you have bottom cable entry for your solenoids. And this will resolve big way the moisture issues and call the failures caused by that the solenoids. Pneumatic actuators. I want to take a survey. Please, if you can help me. How many of you have an issue where moisture gets into the actuator after 2, 3, 4 years and it start corroding and then you start having leakages and ultimately you just remove the actuator in this throat? कितना केसेस में होता है? थोड़ा मुझे हाथ ऊपर करेंगे तो एकदम इतना रहता है पता नहीं लगता है. So there are some. Is this a common phenomena? Is this happens? Yes. How everybody thinks maybe my compressor is bad quality. But I let you know compressed air कितना भी dry रहे, अगर आपने एक चीज का ध्यान नहीं रखा है, right, which I'm going to talk about, you are going to have invariably your pneumatic actuator getting corroded and failing prematurely. Right? And what are this? What happens when you have a single acting actuator? Before I come to the solution, what happens when you have a single acting actuator? Where do your spring chamber is going to suck air? Atmosphere, okay. You can have some smart valve also, we will show you. There are some valves which we make, even ASCO makes, Nogren makes, everybody makes, which we call it a solenoid valve, which can do exhaust purge to the spring chamber. Which means whatever is the pressure side chamber, right, when that gets exhausted, it is sucked into the spring chamber side. So the spring chamber is always purged with the compressor. हमने देखा कि भाई ये वाल लगाया हुआ है उसके बावजूद भी फेल हो रहे हैं. Can you imagine? ये वाल बहुत सारी जगह पे लगाए हुए हैं उसके बावजूद भी, if I speak some Hindi is fine, no? In spite of that there are failures. So what is the reason? The reason is that you have purged the compress, exhaust से आपने purge कर दिया spring chamber को. But when your actuator is in off condition, in exhausted condition, your exhaust port is open and it is connected to spring chamber. So let's say outside of that area has lot of moisture inside the spring chamber there is no moisture. But do you know concentration principle? There is something called as concentration differential. So if there is something wetty place and there is some dry place, a wetty place will try to come to the dry place. Right? So when your ports are open to the atmosphere, even if you are purged with the compressed air, is not going to solve it. And that's why you need to have this sort of the NRV exhausts to be put up. This will even happen in your double acting actuator, because when one of the side is exhausted, if you have not put the NRV cap, your atmosphere is in contact with the actuator. And we found this missing in so many places. When you put NRV cap, it will make sure always your chambers are pressurized by around 0.1 bar, always. So always 0.1 bar will remain inside. So now when you have a positive pressure inside the actuator and negative pressure outside the atmosphere, or the normal temperature pressure in the atmosphere, nothing can go from out to in. Right? Because both the actuator chambers are pressurized because of the NRV. Because NRV will always have some cracking pressure. All of you understand, right? NRV is non-radial valve. Right? So for NRV to work, there has to be some cracking pressure, and that much amount will always remain, protecting the actuator a long way. So wherever now you have your actuators, please go and check the valves, whether the valves is purging type, point number 1. And point number 2, if it is a purging type, have you put a NRV cap? This doesn't cost more than 15 rupees, Baba. No cost at all, that accessory. If you want to see, we have shown that in the display. So this can enhance life big way. Okay, how many of you have issue with air contamination? We have a fantastic filters, everything, still contamination comes and something happens. कुछ होता है क्या किसी को? नहीं होता तो फिर skip कर दूंगा. Right? This is a very, very burning issue in the industry, where air contamination is failing a lot of equipments, and how to deal about it. Right? We have come out with a very simple solution, putting a protective sleeve like this. It is a special design sleeve which just get pushed into any port as per the size you have to buy. And now this will do initial protection in terms of any contamination. Now somebody will say, but what about if there is lot of contamination, it will block the sleeve only, right? But by the time it blocks the sleeve, you will start seeing something getting slow, right? So before it fails, it gives you some indication. And now you don't have to service the whole valve. Just open the fitting, put air, pressurize air, clean the screen, put the fitting back, done. You don't have to open the whole valve, clean the valve or change the valve. वो क्लीनिंग तो करेगा नहीं, ऑन साइट पे डायरेक्ट चेंज करेंगे और फिर घर पे आके या जो भी है लैब में आके हम क्लीन करेंगे या जो भी उसका डायग्नोस्टिक करेंगे. बट दैट्स अ होल टाइम कंपेयर टू दैट जस्ट ओपनिंग अ एयर फिटिंग एंड क्लीनिंग. हाउ मच इजी इट इज. So I am talking about the technologies which are not at all rocket science, common sense, but people are not using it, right? So we as a Rotex going to supply each and every of our solenoid valves from 1st Jan 2024, because it's under production, with this protective screens, which will make sure, because of the external contamination, our valve don't fail. But whatever valve you have already in installed position, if you want to upgrade with this simple sleeve, it doesn't cost anything much, right? You can. We can supply. So it can be very, very simple. And the last is how you can do diagnosis remotely. Simple. How many of you know LEDs? Right? We have seen LEDs. Now you can get LEDs in all solenoids, let it be weatherproof, EXT, EXIA, any sort, and this can be a great blessing. Because when something goes wrong, let's assume EXD coil valve, EXD valve is not working. What happens? The person goes to the field, Now he doesn't know whether the supply issue is there or the wall issue is there itself. So what he does, he opens, in live condition he has to open the AXT terminal box and then check with a multimeter, supply is coming. Can you imagine the safety concerns which are raised? Here, you know directly, looking at the LED. If the LED is there, supply is intact, wall needs to be replaced if the wall is not working. If LED is not blinking, let's not bother about the wall, connect the supplies. And now you can imagine with the CCTV cameras which are now installed everywhere in the plant, if you are able to set your CCTV cameras to look at all those LEDs from your desk, you can see what is the problem. इससे कुछ ज़्यादा कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव हो सकता है क्या? सिंपल, बहुत ही सिंपल. CCTV कैमरा से मैं देख रहा हूँ, right? And I can know whether I should send a person with a spare of valve or should I send a person to somewhere else with the right equipment to carry out the right stuff. Sometimes electrician is different, taking care of electrical technician is different and the instrumentation technician is different. वो बोलता है सर ये मेरा प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, इलेक्ट्रिशियन वाले को बुलाओ, फिर उसको कोऑर्डिनेशन होता है. So much time get wasted. Here you directly know from your office किसको भेजना है, whom to send. So you have two choices. You have now knowledge, you take it forward, you analyze, deploy, involve various vendors and implement. There is another choice, have us by your side and let us help you improve and upgrade your plant, reliability and safety to the next level, right? And if you let us know, we can do a complete on-site visit, a detailed assessment of your complete site, giving you information of your complete installation base of solenoid valves, including name, make, manufacturing dates, type of valves, current health condition, everything. And then accessing the criteria, criticality of these valves, how much they are important for your plant's smooth working or operations. And we submit a value audit report, which will give you a pinpointed action item which you need to take and how much profits that can add into your company's bottom line. Straight away profits. We will not talk about anything else. इतने से reliability बढ़ जाएगा, right? And with precise ROI calculation, जिससे ये submit जब आप report ऊपर करोगे, everybody is the owner there, and they are looking for that numbers, right? Your approval becomes smooth for upgrading. Generally, it takes around 5 days if you have 5,000 valves or 1,000 valves a day. And on such on-site assessment, we charge only 5% of a total profit enhancement we do. So it's not a fixed fee. We say performance-based fee. So winning in making you win, we win, right? And that's the philosophy. And here we are agreeing on all opportunities which has ROI less than 3 years. If it is anything more than 3 years, we will not consider that as assessment or an opportunity to be considered, right? And of course, I can give you, which I'm going to give tomorrow, a glance of something which is regarding AI, right? Some were saying AI is difficult, but I can tell you every one of us can start deployment of AI today in a simple way, right? So I say सबसे बड़ा, the biggest hurdle for anything to start is the start itself. Start is the biggest stop. So we will remove that tomorrow, my tomorrow's presentation, but I'll give this training in detail when it comes. So if you want to apply for online assessment today is a special offer. For the first 5 applicants, this service will be provided completely free. Completely free. हम आपके साइट पे आएंगे, पूरा assessment करके पूरा value audit देंगे, and we will give you complete ROI calculations. We have done it. We have done it at Alembic, right? I have shown you the feedback which we have received, right? And we are currently in process in other places also. And yes, this is the link which you can fill. And yeah, anyone wants to take a photograph, we can take it. So Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm sure after your session, you gave us two choices. Everybody will choose to be by your side or
Thank
to
you.
have you by our sides. So everybody, Mr. Nirav R. Shah, over to Raman sir.
Any questions to anybody?
How with 3 solenoids you are achieving 2 out of 3? And which are the cons of that? Which are the cons of that?
माइक दे दो ना, सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है.
How with 3 solenoids 2 out of 3 is achieved? Which are the cons of doing that?
There are no cons.
Okay.
There is benefit only. So I have not. Last IEC meeting, I had given a detailed presentation of how we are able to achieve it and what are all the benefits it has. So we have done that a smart design. It's a patented design, and you are able to now have an integrally safe 203 because of this, which currently with the 4 solenoid people are compromising with 3004, right? Because you cannot have a single channel 2 solenoids getting operated on a barrier, right? So you have to have 4 barriers, right? And then when you have 4, it means you are losing complete purpose of 203. So this has been getting now installed in multiple places, the 3 solenoid design, because it just doesn't make sense why to go for 4 when you have 3. Right?
Thank you very much, Nirav. See, Mr. Nirav is here. We are fighting against the time. He is here, available with us. Any further questions can be please directly taken with Mr. Nirav. Now I will request Kirti to.
नीरव जी, आप मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर भी हैं. नहीं, जिस हिसाब से आपने एंट्री मारी जिस कॉन्फिडेंस से, है ना, मंच को संबोधित किया. ह्यूज राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर मिस्टर नीरव आर शाह. Would request Kriti ji to present a memento. And let me read out the intro which I missed in the opening because he wanted to read it for himself. So everybody, Mr. Nirav Shah is a mechanical engineer from NIT Warangal. He's a gold medalist and MBA from SPJ Mumbai with 16 years of experience in solenoid valves and pneumatic systems. Mr. Nirav is a director at Rotex Automation Limited. Mr. Nirav is solenoid valve subject matter expert with 17 utility design patents. Mr. Nirav has supported customers increase profits over 100 million USD by innovative solenoid